Good morning. So I'm not going to be with you all long. I had actually recorded this last night, but didn't get it out to you all. And this morning, um, while taking my kids to school, the Lord had just placed on my heart um, some things that I hadn't mentioned last night. Today is Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. Um, so I'm just going to start off. Um, I'm going to start off by reading some notes that the Lord gave me last night. I'm going to then go into a movie that I watched, and I'm sure just by the thumbnail that you all will know what movie it is. But let me just get started. It says, you keep attaching fear to you and your children. They are covered. You are covered. Fear me by loving me. You know that my love is strong and everlasting. I will do what I said. Um, I would do what I said I would do always. I love you. Walk by faith. You are anointed and covered. Your children are covered. I am the light. Darkness flees. Um, Trust in me. I will lead you always. Keep your faith in me. No, it's not a cakewalk, but it's a faith walk. I'm strengthening you even more during this hour. Um, and then there was something personal pertaining to me that he mentioned. Then he said, unity, remove division, unity, united, bringing everyone together. It's about saving souls. Be the leader, keep going. You'll lose people and gain many more. Continue to go. So, yes. So, yesterday morning, the Lord had placed in my soul Isaiah 55:8. And in case you all don't know it, what is going on with my iPad? Okay. In case you all don't know it, it reads, I'm going to do the NIV version. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. And that's Isaiah 55, verse 8. But I'm going to also read 7, 8, and 9. And it says, let the wicked man forsake his own way, and the unrighteous man his own thoughts. Let him return to the Lord, that he may have compassion, and to our God, for he will freely pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So, from here, the Lord just wants me to just pick up on. So I have been experiencing so much just like attacks. The Lord had already prepared me for this. However, He has told me to keep my focus on Him. Just last week, He had me going through my whole house, my whole apartment with my oil and just covering each and every room, praying over it, even my doorposts, the area to my patio. Yeah, so yes, he's having me share this for a reason because I'm pretty sure others are experiencing this and the attacks are coming very frequently. I am just, during this time, I've been isolating myself to, just making sure that I spend time with him, that regardless of whatever I'm doing, you know, I'm trying to pray without ceasing, trying to stay in his word, stay encouraged. It is real. And these attacks are coming because this is also a sign of what we're walking into, what the Lord has promised you. So if this is the season the Lord has told you, you know, whatever he's told you, you know, your season of breakthrough, you'll know. He'll prepare you. He'll speak to you according to, you know, the plans that he has for you. He'll make sure that you're prepared. But like he mentioned, it's not a cakewalk. It has not been a cakewalk. I feel myself so tired. I feel very tired. More than normal, than usual. And my patience, it's like my patience is being tested as well. And I'm having to think throughout different situations, things that would typically be something minor are now like playing such, it's like I'm finding myself pondering and thinking about things. And that's just a way that the enemy is trying to get in. He tries to come any kind of way. Like however you if you leave just a crack of that door open, he's gonna try to zoom himself on up in there to try to steer you away from what the Lord has spoken to you. So like I said, he had placed in my spirit yesterday. Oops, excuse me, I'm trying to type something. Yes, he placed in my spirit yesterday, Isaiah 55:8. Well, then last night, I sat down, wanted to watch a movie. The goal was to watch a Christmas movie, like a Christmas movie, not the movie, a Christmas movie or a Christmas story or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to watch a Christmas movie, and I went to Tubi, and you know, this movie just pops up. I didn't read, you know, what the movie was about. I just saw the title that said Coming Home for Christmas. So this pertains to as well when the Lord tells you be very vigilant and pay attention to everything right now. Like you need to be paying attention because the enemy will try to sneak his way in there anyway. I'm telling you, through your television, through phone conversations, through just people that you'll see throughout your day. So I sat down to watch this movie, and it was Coming Home for Christmas. So the beginning, you know, how like it does like Paramount Studios or Paramount or something, whatever. Well, this one had a white horse that was like coming to like gallop, and the background was purple. So right then I took my phone out and I took a picture. I was like, wow, this is what I saw in a dream, which I had that dream like last year, and it was of a white horse. But this was during the time that my uncle, who I was close with, my mom's brother, was going through his cancer battle and things. And like the Lord had like spoken to me peace, you know, through that dream and stuff. And, referenced the fact of, you know, that he wouldn't be suffering much longer, and he like passed soon after that dream. But so I took a picture of that and just thought to myself, like, wow, that looks, similar to the dream I had. Well, as the horse begins to like gallop, it just stopped. So it just froze. And I'm pressing like a button and checking. It's not buffering, nothing. It just stopped. I press play and then it goes into pause. So I'm like, what is going on? So I pick up the remote again and I'm speaking into the remote at this time, and I'm speaking the name of the movie. So it goes back to the beginning, and the horse comes out again, stops in the same exact spot. So at this point, I'm like, what is going on? Like, my Wi-Fi, nothing's wrong with my Wi-Fi, um, there's nothing wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with our cable, anything. So, I think at this point I pressed exit and then went back into it. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, this is the enemy trying to stop me from watching this movie because the Lord must have a message in it for me. So I exit out of it and press play again. Well, when pressing play, the movie then starts to come on. And the opening scene is of two ladies in a garage. One is like going through some memory boxes of Christmas decorations and stuff, and she says to the lady in the garage with her that she's excited that the kids are coming home, and just reminiscing of like Christmases in the past and stuff. So then the other female in the garage states like, yeah, I'm excited that the kids will be coming home, and I just hope that this is the time that I get to give my share, like my secret or my surprise. And the lady that she was saying this to then proceeds to say, her whole attitude changed, and she was like, well, I'm not ready for you to tell people that my partner of 37 years has now decided to go from being a she to a he. So I'm like, what in the world is this that I'm watching? So, in my mind still, I'm thinking like, okay, well, maybe with the title of the movie and, how it's opening, that it's just going to be, possibly one of the two return home to the Lord and no longer want to live this lesbian lifestyle. Excuse me. And so then it goes into another scene. Well, then while in the garage, a girl comes home for the holidays, and she's kissing her mom, like, oh, glad to see you, blah blah blah. Goes into a scene of her texting someone. She goes to a bedroom and she's texting her siblings like, I hope that you're not gonna have me here by myself. Mom and mom so and so are going through like a whole dispute or whatever. I don't know what's going on. So the scene goes into the person that she's texting, which is her sibling. Well, then the sibling she's married to a girl. So right then I was like, oh no, I gotta turn this. Like, this movie, if even what I thought it would be, it's clearly not just no regular Christmas movie. So I'm trying to get out of that. I'm searching for the remote. At that time, my husband walks through the front door, and he hadn't even noticed like what I was watching on TV. So I'm still trying to get the remote, and then was I talking to him? I think I was talking to my son or his girlfriend, because I think they were still right there at the dining room table. So I'm trying to turn the TV, like get it off of there. Um, and right then I could just hear the Lord saying that, the movie was not of him. And he said, that's not of me. It's not me. So, at this point, my husband's coming back through because he came to get a phone situated for one of the boys. So he's walking back through. Why did the movie turn into another scene? And at that point, it was a girl like there was two females sitting in the car, and one just, this is a Christmas movie, supposedly, but it's a lesbian Christmas movie. And she goes and puts her hand in between this girl's legs in her lap, like going up her thigh. So at this point, he's at the door talking, and he looked at me, and he's like, what do you have going on? I said, no, like, it's not even what you think. Like, I don't know what it is like, I thought I was watching a Christmas movie. And he knows that I enjoy watching Christmas movies. So yes. So I was like, no, it's not what you think. I don't know where this movie came from. But I'm getting off of here. He was like, oh, okay. All right, just checking. So, needless to say, I got off of that, and like I said, I was on Tubi. So the Lord had already started ministering to me about that, of how to be vigilant and pay attention to things. Here it is. I thought that horse galloping at the beginning was, oh, this movie was definitely sent by God, and you know, looks are deceiving. So I exited out of that, and that's when the movie God's Not Dead comes up. So I'm sure some people have seen that. Oh, I'm so sleepy. Have seen that movie. So if not, and if you have watched it, I recommend that you go back and rewatch it, because the Lord, He will definitely speak to you and download to you and interpret things completely different than when you first watched them. Like, what you learned yesterday is going to be completely different when He brings it back around to you today, tomorrow, and the next day. So I recommend, just going to watch that again. But yes, he spoke to me throughout that movie, and he just highlighted, like, all it takes is one. He has been speaking to me about my role, even with being a mother, and how, you know, my family is attached to my ministry. I am their leader. I am, what I do, they're picking up and following me. Like, they're actually looking up to me, and I have to be mindful of, how I express myself, how I handle situations. I can't focus on what things look like when I know what the Lord has already told me. And so that goes back to when I first started reading through all the notes that He gave me last night. And He said, you keep attaching fear to you and your children. He is correct. And, the Lord points things out to me, and He corrects me. And He's correct. There have been times, even here recently, that, I know that the Lord has told me that, me and my children are covered, and, I read that to you just like he had even spoken it to me. However, there are some times when I've been hesitant on letting my children go certain places, and the Lord had to remind me that you're allowing fear to take over, and you can't speak that you have faith if you're doubting what I've spoken to you. And he said, yes, your role is to protect them as well. However, if I spoke a thing to you, it's for a reason. So he said, if I spoke a thing to you, it's for a reason. And again, the Lord gets the glory out of everything. So what he was saying to me was basically like, say if my kids wanted to go somewhere. If he has told me that he's going to protect them, that I have nothing to worry about, that something may happen, however, they're protected, I'm to take the Lord's word and allow them to go. So he brought me back to that. And like he said, you can't operate in faith and fear. Your faith has to be stronger than your fear. When you fear, you're allowing the enemy room to come into your surroundings, your situation, the people that are with you, the people that are surrounded by you, and the words that I've spoken to you. So yes, we are to fear the Lord, but we are not to fear these things on the outside whatsoever. If he has spoken to you that he is going to cover you, he is going to protect you, that things may happen to those around you, but as for you and your household, y'all are saved. You are to trust and believe in that word that the Lord has spoken to you. So he spoke that to me last night and also throughout that movie. Like the student, and I don't want to speak about the movie like in depth unless, I believe he's having me speak to you about the movie because you need to go and look at it for yourselves. But yes, there was the fear of one of the Asian students called his father and told his father about, the whole discussion in class. And the father asked him, so what does your instructor or what does your professor believe? Does he believe God is dead? And the student said yes. And the father says, well, that's what you are to believe too. Why? Because he was fearing, the father feared the enemy, which was the teacher. He felt as though the student's fate was in the hands of the teacher. So go back, watch it, allow him to speak to you through it. There were so many points that he mentioned to me throughout it, and this message is for you to go and spend time with him. Go watch, go rewatch, allow him to speak to you. Because there are things that will be taking place, in the days to come. There'll be things that will be taking place, in the months to come. And the Lord needs you to remain grounded. If he has called you to do such a thing, he needs you to do it. He needs you to have faith in him that that he has you protected and he has you covered. Have faith in him that that word that he spoke to you will not return to him void. He needs you to understand that you have no room to allow the enemy to come in and clog your thoughts, try to just try to wipe out everything the Lord has spoken to you. So spend time with him. Go back and watch it. and just allow him to minister to you. But that, I think, unless I'm missing something, is all I think he wanted me to cover. Yes, and there is a book that I'll be sharing that he is having me read. And the story behind that book is, it isn't a book that I went out and purchased. My previous job was at a university that is supposed to be a Christian-based university. But one of my previous coworkers had brought in some old books into the break room, and he had just placed a note and told us that we could, that we could just grab one, and we could just take them home, that they were ours to keep. So, and anything that we didn't take, he would be donating, I think, to the public library, I believe he said. So I was just standing in there fixing a cup of coffee and went over to the table. Didn't know about this book at all. Had never, read it. And I picked it up. And just saw the title on the side. And I'm like, okay, I'll just read this. I placed it in my work bag and never picked it up. I want to say I placed it in my work bag like 2 weeks before leaving that job and going to the job that I'm at now, and never picked it up. I kind of remembered the title at the time. However, I knew that the author was C.S. Lewis, so I'm like, okay, I'll read that, and never gotten around to reading it. Well, last week, the Lord had placed it in my spirit. He started talking about Job one night during prayer. And so he said, read it. Like, I want you to go read it. So I did start it, not done. But my plan is to finish reading this week. But the name of the book is The Screwtape Letters. So, yes, in case you all are familiar with it, or if not, if the Lord leads you to reading it, read it. And I'll come back and discuss it, once I completed. But yes, he placed that book on me to read. He told me to read it last week. So I'm going to do that. But I don't want to give too much right now. That way it gives you all time to read it. And I'm going to, hopefully, if my day is not busy today at work, if not, finish it. But yes, so let me know, your thoughts, or if you have, if you've read it. And yes, so that is just where I'm at with my walk and what he has me doing right now. I'm just, I don't know. He's just been telling me to focus on my family, and that what he has called me to do, they are attached to it. There are things that he is pulling out of them. The enemy is coming, trying to not only attack me, but my children as well. So just, I'm trying to remain focused, not allow, what's happening around me or around us to to get us down whatsoever. You know, that's what the enemy wants. And just constantly talking to my kids about that. Like, two of my boys had an argument the other night, and, you know, just last night I went in there and I told him, you know, had a conversation with him and, you know, told him to apologize to his brother. He needed to. The Lord is just speaking to me so much through, you know, different situations that we're experiencing as a family. Um, and he just keeps telling me unity and united, remain united, remain united. Um, you know, everyone together, everyone together. So, you know, even how I handle situations with them, you know, he's telling me to, you know, be mindful. I've even had to repent last night for, like, just being so tired and just blowing something so small out of proportion the other night. So I had to apologize to my children. And those are things that he is using to, they're learning from them as well, and how to handle situations. So, yes, there's just a lot, a lot going on. And with all of this, the enemy is still trying. He's still trying. But no, it's just not going to work. And he uses the same tactics over and over again. And he tries to catch you when you're so tired and you're weary. But you got to stay grounded in the Lord. If you even have to pull your car over to just cry if you need to, or just to gather your thoughts, do it. There's been days that I've even driven to a park that we're going to visit. I think we said next weekend. It's like 20 minutes away, but they usually do like all these Christmas lights and stuff, this display. But there are times throughout the year that I just go there and park my car, pull out my notebook. I'll either silence the radio or just have some music playing and allow him to minister and speak to me through that. But I just get away. Like, there are times that you don't need to just pick up the phone and call someone and talk. You just need to talk to the Lord and allow him to be that person that brings you the peace, because that's the only place it comes from, is him. You have to understand that. You know, so many times we even when I remember my kids being small, I'd be like, you know, I just need some peace and quiet. You know, I would ask my parents, like, can you all come get them? Can they stay the night with you? I need peace and quiet. Well, it was never really peace and quiet even after they left. Why? Because my mind, the enemy was playing with my mind and throwing all this stuff in there. Like, oh, you think you can get some peace and quiet? I'm going to interrupt your peace and quiet. You know, and he comes in with his attacks. But yes, keep your focus on the Lord. That is what he is saying to you when he tells us, prepare your heart, prepare your heart. Keep your focus on him. And like he said, it's not a cakewalk. It's a faith walk. If he has spoken a word to you, you have to stand on it. Stand on it and know that it is going to come. And then ask yourself as well, what am I doing? You know, am I living and demonstrating to the Lord that, like, I already know that this thing is coming? Excuse me. Even in that movie, how he it was a pastor and a missionary that were trying to go somewhere. However, he was having trouble time after time with his car, and the same rental car would not start. Okay, the missionary had mentioned to him, this is how we're going to do it this time. This is how we're going to do it. But watch the movie. You'll see how everything comes full circle. But he's like, this is how we're going to do it this time. We're going to bring our luggage out. stopped and prayed. You have to show God that you are walking into it. You're walking into what He has already spoken to you. Faith without works is dead. You have to show Him that you are in agreements with Him, and you are walking into this thing with Him, because you know for a fact that the Lord cannot lie. He will not lie, and He did not lie to you. So you have to partner with Him and show Him that you believe. So they got their luggage, they stood there, they prayed. The guy thought that was it. The pastor thought that was it. No. The missionary told him, now we're going to put our luggage in the trunk. So what are you doing? What are you doing? Yes, the Lord has spoken this word to you, but also what are you doing to show the Lord that you wholeheartedly believe in what He has spoken to you? So again, I didn't want to keep you all long. It is 36 minutes. Didn't plan for this to be this long, but it's His plans, not mine, and they are higher than yours and ours. So I'm going to end this and start my work day. But yes, enjoy your day. Spend time with Him. Watch the movie. Rewatch the movie. And just allow Him to speak to you. Bye.